So this week has to be all about the Real Housewives, specifically the Real Housewives of New York City, because there's a lot that has come out from this expose that Vanity Fair did, including Ramona's racist behavior behind the scenes, her being now removed, according to page 6, from BravoCon after her text message exchange included an abbreviated version of the N-word, and there is apparently a beef brewing between Eboni K. Williams and Bethenny on social media? Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So when we covered the Vanity Fair expose, there was a portion of this story that we didn't get into. But they ended this Vanity Fair expose that a lot of people, including myself, felt like nothing really groundbreaking was found out here. There were a couple of things that came out that we talked about yesterday during our Tuesday takeover. But at the end of the article, which it was so kind of like out of place for me, because I was like, oh wait, we're going to end it like this? Because when I saw Eboni K. Williams and Leah McSweeney be a part of this with Bethenny, I said, well, maybe they're working together. Well, Vanity Fair wanted to make sure that we understood that they are not. So Eboni K. Williams in this Vanity Fair article was asked, presented with the idea that she might participate in Frankel's organizing, Eboni K. Williams says, F Bethenny Frankel. You think I'm going to let some white girl speak for me with my experience with a multi-billion-dollar corporation? So Bethenny probably saw this article when we saw this article, and she decided to go on social media and respond to Eboni K's shade by reposting a DM exchange with Eboni. In this DM exchange, which really wasn't an exchange, Eboni sent a message to Bethenny saying, we met on a private flight from Palm Beach to New York City a couple of years ago, just thanking you for consistently using your platform for tangible change. And this was back in June of 2020. I think this is when she was just starting to film. Or honestly, I don't even think they started filming yet, because the pandemic started in March of 2020. I know they started filming Roni with a lot of restrictions in 2020, but I think this might have been before that. So Bethenny responds 2 years later. Look, I'm sure some of you have DM'd me and it goes into that DM area that you don't see unless you go there yourself and check it. So unless you're following that person. So she responds and says, wow, I never saw this. Thanks. I'm sorry so late. So Eboni, of course, being the lawyer, decided to repost that exchange that they had, but also added elements that Bethenny did not leave in this exchange. And it said, of course, where Bethenny replies and says, wow, I never saw this. Thanks. I'm sorry I'm so late. Then this past Saturday, it looks like, Bethenny sent her another message saying, do you have a minute? So Eboni reposts this on her Instagram story and says, and @s Bethenny Frankel, and says, tried it. She says, pulling out a receipt from 3 years ago, back when you focus on philanthropy instead of thirst trapping on other people's hardships. Then she puts hashtag go to sleep, hashtag still on red. I just feel like I need some unity because you guys you're I don't know if you're on the same team, but you're trying to get some equality and some change. I need you to be on the same page. This is just a distraction from Ramona. So Ramona. So one of the elements that we didn't get to talk about when I first posted about the Vanity Fair article was Ramona. I did mention that Ramona was responding to Vanity Fair when everyone else from NBC were saying no comment. Ramona was commenting.
Shut up, girl! Shut up!
Because she was accused by Eboni K. Williams in this article of some really problematic discriminatory and racist behavior behind the scenes, including using the N-word with one of the black producers that was brought on to work with Eboni K. Williams during the season. So there were a couple of things that Ramona said that was very problematic, including, oh, there's a lot of black people on set now. She's like, don't change your hair because then I might not remember your name.
Hell no.
And then she tried to make the excuse like,
Name.
and then during a training to help this cast not be problematic with a new black person starting on this cast, and she posed the question. She's like, well, what if they don't have a father? I read a statistic somewhere where a lot of black people don't have fathers. I'm paraphrasing. This is not exactly what she said, but this is how it was phrased in the Vanity Fair article. That she was like, well, I read an article somewhere where it says that, they don't really have a lot of fathers. Okay. So it was that, but also the accusation of using the N-word in front of to a black producer. And the way that this was substantiated was during a phone call. According to Eboni K. Williams, she had a phone call with one of the attorneys, not an attorney for NBCU, and was also on the phone with the chief diversity officer. I can't believe I remember this was a long article. And Eboni K. was told by this attorney that, Ramona didn't use the N-word at this producer. She was using it sort of as an example. And for the very first time, according to Eboni K. Williams, she was like, someone had some sense, because the chief diversity officer, who is biracial, said, wait. What we're not going to do here is try to define the use or justify the use of the N-word to a black woman. This is where they had substantiated that Ramona, I'm going to still say allegedly, used the N-word. Well, then Page Six apparently had a text message exchange with Ramona about this. And because this was exposed, she has now been removed from the BravoCon app as someone that was supposed to be on the panel. As you know, she's also supposed to be a part of Bravo's Real Housewives of New York City Legacy Ultimate Girls Trip, which originally was supposed to be a separate show. Now it's going to be an Ultimate Girls Trip. And they kept on saying coming soon, coming soon. They didn't give us a date. I don't know what they're going to do. They've had two troubles. They talked about the Morocco trip where Brandi Glanville and Caroline Manzo had their issues. They're not even sure we're going to even see that. And now this, and they keep promoting it, but they haven't given us a date. I don't know if we're going to see this. Do you want to see it? Is the question. So Page Six writes this. They says Bravo is getting off the Ramona coaster. They said just hours after Ramona Singer texts a part of a racial slur to a Page Six reporter, her name disappeared from the BravoCon app. They said the former Real Housewives of New York City star was expected to attend this upcoming weekend's 3-day event in Las Vegas. But a source told Page Six she will no longer be attending the festival in light of her actions. Page Six has reached out to Singer for reaction to the Vanity Fair expose about Bravo, which alleged she had used the N-word in conversation with a black crew member during production of season 13. In her response, she attempted to defend herself, but ended up using the slur once again. She says that, and the word I used was the N-word, not N-I-G, she texted the Page Six reporter on Tuesday. The Vanity Fair feature claimed that Singer's alleged use of the racial slur became a complaint with Inshed Media, Warner Brothers Discovery, Bravo, and NBC Universal. After that, you also may recall she was featured on the very first season of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And then when Andy Cohen was pressed about Ramona Singer being a part of the show after her problematic behavior, he was a humana at BravoCon. It will be interesting to see, because he hosts his own sort of panel, a couple of panels, Ask Andy, during BravoCon, if someone will ask him about the recent events. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts. A lot of you have consistently said you do not want to see Ramona any longer. Why does Bravo insist on having Ramona here? As always, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news, when we go live, or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll ask you. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the